Hello everyone. So this is my pure boss rig, which is composed of the GT1, the Boss GT1, the Boss DS1, and the Boss BD2W, the blues driver. Okay, shout out to Mr. Jep Django for the Boss Wazcraft BD2. And shout out to Mr. Nimitz Ramp Sid for the Boss DS1. Shout out to Brad Dave Gonzalez for the Boss GT1. Okay, pasa alright. And together they are the pure boss rig. So the question is, do you really need to have a pure boss rig to to get the best tone out of everything? So let's find out. Okay, so shout out to teacher Mark Elnar for encouraging me to do this, because his rig, especially what he uses for praise and worship for their church, is the Boss GT1. So he was the one who introduced me to the Boss GT1. So he uses the Boss GT1 and pair it especially with a tube screamer. So it's the Maxon TS9 or TS808. So that's his rig. So my favorite was supposed to be the SD1, but I don't have one now. I don't have it right now. So that was in my previous vlogs. Okay, so I used the SD1 of Manager Gale. Okay, so let's find out in the style of Jimi Hendrix. So yeah, everybody loves Hendrix. So let's go. So this is the hybrid rig. I don't usually do this, but way back in the 2000s, oh my gosh, I'm feeling old. But yes, it was the Zoom 606 and the Boss Metal Zone. It was kind of funny, but it was the Zoom 606 and the Metal Zone. The Metal Zone was the only distortion pedal I had. So I used that a lot for gigs. So the Boss Metal Zone, I used it a lot, but as I went older, I didn't like the tone already. I preferred the DS1. So it's my favorite, the DS1 and the SD1. So don't have it, so I'm gonna use the blues driver. So my main gain pedal right now is the blues driver. Okay, so that's what I always use. So let's go. All right. Okay. So let's make this simple and fast and as possible. Okay, sorry about that. I'll do my best. Okay. So first, it's all clean, okay? No reverb. The volume pedal. Shout out to Mr. Barry. Shout out to Mr. Barry Visok, my teacher. He's the one who encourages me to use multi-effects. He's told me to stop using pedals long term for gigs because it's the digital era. And he's my teacher, our master, so we have to listen. But to tell you honestly, I always prefer analog. I love the sound of analog, but that's just me. Okay, so analog, especially for band. Okay, when you're with the band, but times are different right now. So let's do this. Okay. Okay, so the DS1, my distortion pedal or my high gain pedal, and the Boss BD2 as my clean boost. Okay, so all right. So it's just clean. See, okay, without it. With the Boss BD2. Strat. Okay, so if you want a question, but it's an HSS, so it's a humbucker bridge Strat. Okay, so if I want reverb, I just press this one. So during live settings, I don't turn on the reverb because I prefer the reverb of the amp. But if there's no reverb, I just turn this on. So without it, okay. So this is the preamp button. So without it, yes, it's very slow. But this one's the compressor. A compressor for me is a hit or miss. Sometimes it's my best friend, sometimes it's my worst enemy. But it just depends. But it's for the multi effects. But practically, for guitar solos or for clean, everything clean, a compressor is really important. But I'm really not a compressor guy, so that's just me because I prefer overdrives more as boosts or gain pedals. So the preamp, this is a JC120, a Roland amp. So it's what I'm choosing as my. So it's clean, okay. So shout out again to Brad Dave Gonzalez. Um, I'm I'm copying Brad. I'm using his what you call a preset, but just edited it a bit. Okay, so I just copied it and saved it to a new preset and edited it. So this is how he does it. This is his delay. So when you press these buttons, it's up and down. Go up, you choose preset, go down. So it's like scrolling. Scroll up for the preset, scroll down for another preset. The control one is the bonus. This is the bonus button. You put overdrive, you put delay, or you put reverb, whatever effect. So that's the power of the BOSS GT1. At first I didn't understand it, but thanks to Brad Dave Gonzalez, I understand now. Okay, so this is not a lesson for the GT1. If you're asking me to do that, maybe I won't. But who knows? But I would refer you to Brad Dave Gonzalez. You can follow his YouTube channel. So he's my guitar and rig mentor also, Dave Gonzalez. Follow his YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok. All right. So okay. So this is my clean boost. See? So it's an overdrive, but the gain is 0, but the volume is high, so it's a clean boost. So spoiler, it's actually a tube screamer. I just put the gain at 0 as my clean boost. Okay, so delay. So a DD3 or BOSS. So sounds so beautiful. Chorus. Both. All right. So it's kind of nasally. So but it's okay. Okay, so let's go to the gain pedal. So I'm using the BD2 now. So with a delay. vibe. So with a tube screamer. So that's really not my kind of tone, but it's kind of helpful when you're in a full band. Alright, so let's turn this off. So with the distortion, oops, it's kind of noisy. So just the distortion. Okay, so let's use my clean boost, which is the BD2. Okay, so that's how it sounds. How about with delay? So it's really the sound of the DD3. This is the digital delay setting with chorus. So how about we try this one, the tube screamer. Okay, so it's clean boost. So let's just assume this is a TS8 or 8 or a TS9. So let's just assume at 0 gain, high tone and high level. Oh my gosh, I'm speaking like a guitar pedal nerd. Oh, not actually like a guitar pedal nerd, because I really am one. Which would you prefer? Alright, so that's it. So my GT1, BOSS DS1, and BD2. So I was supposed to do Henrik, so let's try. I just turned on the reverb now, so I'm gonna use this. Alright. So that was my vlog. This is a long vlog. I hope you could get along with it. So I'm gonna do my best to edit this video soon after, and that's it. So honestly or realistically, my rig is supposed to be an overdrive, a distortion, and delay. Or I really don't use a reverb. I prefer just the delay pedal, so an analog delay. So that's my usual rig, and I'm really dependent with a chorus pedal right now. But honestly, before I was so dependent with the chorus pedal. I had a CH1. It was sentimental, but I had to let it go for for good reasons, because I passed it on to one of my mentors. So that was it. Moving on, moving forward. So yes, that's it. So I'm really a huge Boss nerd, but times are different right now. But even though times are different, Boss is still my number one, and not only me, but most especially with the old school heads. So in my YouTube channel, I think majority of my subscribers are within my age level or much more older than me. I realized that because I started at 2010, so I was way more younger during that time, and majority of my followers are older than me. So let's just say the boomers and Gen X. It's kind of a bit funny, but on TikTok and on my Instagram, most of my followers are Gen Z. So it's really the Gen Z era, especially at my TikTok. So they usually watch a lot or comment a lot and bash a lot, and it's kind of fun for me. It's really fun because I'm happy that they still love guitar, and especially rock guitar, because it's a different era right now. I'm happy that the acoustic side, which is where my profession is really at, and I'm really more on the acoustic side as a guitarist. But I'm really happy that there are a lot who love rock, who followed the footsteps of their parents. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you're open to Boss, because Boss is really retro, to be honest. It's vintage already because they started at the late 70s. So growing up in the 90s, Boss was very golden. They were still developing. So example, the Boss BD2, it came out during the mid 90s. So the DS1, this was very basic, very staple, very famous because of Nirvana during our era. So that's it. And so during the 2000s, 2010s, this came out 10 years ago. I remember it when this came out. I was so starstruck. So Bisaya pa suya kay ko, brad. So yeah, I really dreamt of having this one, but it's really expensive for me. So yes, that's it. But it's really on sale now. It's because many more new models. The GX series, especially the GJX1, just came out. So okay, so this is way too long now. So I'll just cut it on TikTok if you want to, and I'll do shorts. But if you're watching this vlog, thank you so much. But most of you won't watch this, but I'm doing this because those who need help, I hope I can help. Alright, thank you so much. Shout out to the sponsors: Jep Django, Mr. Nimitz, Ram, Sid, Brad, Dave Gonzalez, Sir Mark Elnar, Sir Barry Bisok. Thank you so much, everyone. Alright. Peace out.